What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle. Create space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also asks me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. I'm tired, so excuse me. Video is entitled Don't Be Afraid of Failure. I didn't think about it, but a lot of times we're afraid of failure. We're afraid to be judged. We're afraid to put ourselves out there. And you really are not going to go forward in life if you don't test yourself. You don't push yourself. You don't put yourself in situations that are going to challenge you. You know, you don't get knocked down by life. And I'm not saying become a loser or take a loser's mentality, but what I'm saying is don't be afraid to try something that you don't think you're good at, or that you're going to take a while to you might have a learning curve, or you might have to take some lumps, and you might look stupid for a while. But if it's something that you actually like, don't be afraid of failure. You know, it may be something that you don't know anything about. You know, like I said, I do these videos as a hobby. But, you know, in the beginning, I was like, you know, you get apprehensive. Do I want to get on camera? Okay. You know, I've made albums. I don't have a problem performing them. You get stage fright, but you get out there. I played sports. And I've never had a problem, playing. And here's the thing that I learned. The better you prepare for something, the less nervous you'll be. You know, the more well prepared you are. And the reason why you're well prepared is because you tried stuff and you failed. You got better because you tried to see if this works for you, this works for you, if this works for you, if you have a strength in this, if you have a weakness in this. And then what winds up happening is you find out you have a weakness in certain things, and it doesn't scare you. It doesn't make you lose confidence in yourself. You say, okay, well, because I'm weak in this area, this is what I need to strengthen myself in. And you're not scared of failure, so then you get better and better at that. And then it's like, okay, you start becoming a better person. Thinking that you aren't as good as you are, or aren't as smart or skilled, or how can I say this? Thinking you're not just enough. If you try and you fail, you come to find out you're not far off of people who you would deem as enough. So don't be afraid of failure, because when you put yourself out there, it's a learning curve. You know, the thing about wanting to have, wanting things to be perfect, or to be perfect, or to be seen as perfect, is overrated. Because you're gonna take losses in life. And the losses in life, you should learn from those losses. Losses and lessons should be the same thing, you know, because nobody is going to go through life undefeated. You know, that's just ridiculous. You need to learn how to fail. You know, that's part of when guys talk about approaching women. You know, you're going to approach some women. Some women are going to be receptive. Some women are not going to be receptive. You know, but once you approach, you're not afraid of failing and falling on your face and saying, oh, didn't get that one. Okay, I can get the next one. Not a big deal. That's part of the issue. Like, don't be afraid of failure. You might, want to get good at something. And you might feel like, oh, well, I'm too... there are things that I would say, I talk to myself, maybe you're too old to do this, to do that now. Not really. I mean, if it's not something with a finite time limit, then you're not too old. Same thing when I was thinking, maybe I'm too young to do that. You're seeing kids who are not even teenagers enrolled in college. because they're not afraid of the challenge. And that's why I say don't be afraid of failure, because part of this is is a fear of the challenge itself. And don't be afraid of the challenge. Don't be afraid that, this might be hard. I was clowning because I was talking to my son about this. And sometimes me and him get into it about that because, like, he doesn't want to be challenged because, he likes being the smartest person in the room. I'm like, don't be afraid to not be the smartest person in the room, because you'll learn something. Like, to be in an environment where you're the top of the food chain is not necessarily a good space to be, especially if it's not an evolution that took years to get there. And a lot of us just want to be the man, but we won't stay there. We won't maintain it. We won't be the standard or set the bar high. We just want it for a moment, which is, immature to me. It's just it's silly, but that's just how I think. Excuse me. But the other thing about this is also, I would say that, we have these situations where if you're scared to fail, you'll never try. And that bothers me as a person, because some of us don't realize we can't be successful because we're so scared of failure that we really don't try. You scared to give a maximum effort because what if I lose? So what? Don't be afraid to challenge your own life and legacy and make your own life and legacy, because you're going to have to take chances. You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to do some things, excuse me, that if you don't really think about it, or if you haven't thought about it, that are gonna test you on yourself. Because a lot of us don't get it, that the failure is for your benefit. It's not to discourage you or to destroy you or to cripple you mentally or physically. It's to make you a better person. And if you're afraid of making a fool of yourself, you can always bounce back. Like a person, people forget that you can bounce back. Like, and I know O'Shea talked about Anthony Joshua. I didn't see the video, but I'm a boxing fan, and I also me and my coworker, we have a podcast. I thought Joshua was gonna lose this fight like he lost the last one, because I thought to myself that he was gonna go in there and try to fight, and he wasn't a better counterpuncher than Ruiz. But he was like, "No, I'm gonna box. I'm not finna fight this guy." He realized, if I want to win, I gotta outbox this guy. I got the height, I got the reach, I got the strength. I can keep him on the outside. And he learned from that failure of losing, and he bounced back. And that's the thing. A lot of us are scared to bounce back. We're scared, like, if you take a loss, that's the end of your life. No, it's not. That's just that moment. And sometimes there's, you might need, you're going to have a moment of redemption if you fail. If you lose, you're going to have a moment of redemption. A lot of times, our failures and losses, they don't last forever. And some of us don't realize it doesn't last forever, but we make it last forever. You might have failed at something today, but mentally, it lasted with you for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And it was meant for you to learn, get over it, and move on and grow. But you never grew. You just kept talking yourself down. And which, became a negative quality, a negative problem. And some of us don't get that. It's because at the end of the day, what's going to wind up happening is, look at some of the greatest people of all time, and you remember of all the great things they did. You forget all the times that they tried something and failed because you looked at them as being great. They were just in the process. You should get in the process too. Don't be afraid of failure. We out. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.